Hey Wolfpack, Catastrophe here, and I'm on the run for my 9 lives as this puppet is slashing his strings. But I suppose we can spare some time for a goofy review. And what better than a return to Crypt TV's infamous Fables, as our favorite horror web show attempts to remake Pinocchio's dad into a spooky boogeyman in their short scare, Geppetto.
Who knows, you might get away with it.
I hit strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
So, our webisode opens up with a dummy offing a girl. Spoilers! We're soon introduced to our villain protagonist, Geppetto, a traumatized, depressed old toy maker who has constructed the perfect puppet boy to replace his dead son. However, his tragic desire to revive his child ultimately leads to more pain and grim terror. For those unfamiliar, this character is a dark reinterpretation of the fairy tale character Geppetto, Pinocchio's father. The child-friendly creator was a lonely yet eccentric elder who sought friendship and family through his toy creations, with Pinocchio obviously being the son he always wanted. But in typical Fables fashion, some magical and horrific events occur where the father-son relationship must persevere in the face of danger, testing their strength to fight for those whom they call family and bring them closer. Just like the Cheshire Cat and Knave of Hearts, Crypt TV reforges these fantastical characters into a deranged, twisted horror incarnation of the classic characters in order to explore them as spooky monsters. The dummy, aka Silas, is a creepy-looking artifact who holds sway over his creator, as it's a crude replica of his once real boy, and is granted a warped evil doll appearance which looks oddly familiar.
Lappy's not happy!
The puppet's so obviously evil that it burns its ghoulish image into your eyes. Despite the dummy being the signature visual of this episode, it's not our central focus, but rather, this is his father Geppetto's story. Geppetto's granted a tragic backstory and is clearly unwell from the trauma of losing his son, which does make you feel very sympathetic for him, but alas, in a case of Norman Bates syndrome, you also feel absolutely terrified of him and his obsessive need to obey Silas, as his pain has only made him more dangerous, as you'll see soon enough. Things only get weirder when, thanks to the dark fairy magic and alcohol, his Silas replica becomes a real boy.
Silas! Oh, it's you, my precious, precious boy.
His son and he resume living a normal life, but it's clear that the family's different and have not obtained a happily ever after.
Did you like your sandwich? I'm a little boy too. I want your sandwich.
The acting's quite decent. The kid playing real Silas never once talks or acts like an actual child, but constantly looks off to maintain a creepy vibe.
With this blank, pale, emotionless face and...
As for the old dude, he does a really terrific job as Geppetto, playing him up as this troubled depression victim hiding a dark side. You nearly relate with him, but his devotion to keeping his human puppet abomination happy plays out like a Pet Cemetery sitch. Clearly a solid style for a morally gray tragic villain. His literally bored boy demands a new friend in order to stay normal and happy, where we get to easily the most unsettling part of the film, a creepy scene of an old guy luring away a little girl.
Yoo-hoo! Hello? My, oh my, what a beautiful little girl.
What the hell?
What's your name?
Beth?
Yeah, this scene's as uneasy and gross as you think. The crypt really puts the pedo in Geppetto.
Beth! What a pretty name. want to come play with me?
I should probably get home.
You like popsicles?
Crypt TV had to know what it was doing, as they take the creepiest path imaginable by having Geppetto basically trick a kid into coming back to his house to check out his son's wood. It's honestly just as scary as the black phone premise, but the Crypt gets away with this by indulging in tons of symbolism and parallels to molester tactics, which does make this horror short gain an even more unwholesome, disturbing feel. The franchise has also clearly embraced Geppetto's creepazoid undertones, because future tie-in material only makes the metaphor more obvious.
Being the toy maker, they are drawn to me. It just takes a smile and a toy. I told him I had a son he could play trains with if he liked. He came so willingly.
They never come back as boys.
It's a bit of a cheap attempt to drum up terror, but super effective. Geppetto does eventually play nice by acting normal, and invites the girl over to meet his son and the toys, where she realistically agrees.
Did you make that doll?
I have a bunch more inside. You want to see?
And you need to come on down to the cellar.
Things seem to play out normally, as the girl loves hanging out with Silas and their puppet pals.
To bonk or not to bonk? That is the question.
Unfortunately, it's twist time. Silas reveals that he didn't ask the girl over here to be friends. He needs her soul. For you see, through some very vague implications, Silas was resurrected thanks to Geppetto using Satanism to transfer his kid's soul into the living dummy. However, his form needs recharging, so if he wants his kid to live, then he must sacrifice other children's souls as payment. Meaning that Silas and Geppetto have to kill each week to live each week.
Holy crap!
Yep, his boy is a wicked killer doll now, and needs daddy to help him kill children to stay alive. If Geppetto won't kill her, Silas's soul is lost forever.
Hail Satan!
So naturally, because we know the toy maker is clinging to his dead son, he reluctantly poisons the little girl to keep his soul. I do admire that our killer is at least very uneasy to go through with this, because it adds a layer of drama to all of this, since he wants to overcome a tragedy only to end up causing way worse harm, and even hints that Silas might not even be his son, but a wicked demon using this father's love to kill more in his dead child's name. Truly frightening nightmares.
I got you a friend.
Though, of course, Crypt TV still really plays up the creepy pedo bear angle. The dialogue does not help.
Oh, it's getting a little dark out. I should probably head home.
No. You have to wait until everyone's finished.
My head was all funny.
That's because I put a bunch of weird, illegal things in it.
And Lil Girl dies thanks to the Mad Hatter poison, where Silas lives once more. However, we get another Crypt TV post-credits scene, and believe it or not, it's actually good.
Huh?
We end on a very vague twist of Geppetto adding the dead girl's corpse as his son's playmate.
To my collection.
Teasing that Geppetto is going to gain more victims for Silas's spree. However, we notice how Silas is still in puppet form and not a real boy again, even though Dad gave him what he promised. The vagueness of this twist has given birth to two fan theories. Either A, Silas and Geppetto are now going to evolve into full-blown serial killers, snatching and slashing more victims to power the dummy's magic. Or B, Silas might not actually be real. The twist hints at what I think is the scariest scariest part of the entire story. The dummy might not actually be real. Geppetto might really be an insane lunatic who imagines his puppet replica is his real boy speaking to him and asking him to kill people as the single father snapped ever since Silas's real death. Geppetto is merely a broken old man driven to villainy from the grief, coping through his clone. Every time we see Geppetto talking to his puppet and seeing it come to life might actually be all in his warped head.
Holy cow! You just blew my mind!
I mean, think about it. We do have clues which suggest either ending. Since the Cryptverse naturally has real monsters in it with supernatural magic, the dummy could very well be alive and corrupting Dad, but there's also room to theorize something else could be happening. We never learn how Geppetto brought his puppet to life. We don't see him use magic. It's never elaborated on as to why the dummy requires him to kill for souls. The child never eats, is always inside home with him. Only Geppetto speaks to him. We see Dad has a drinking problem. And most obvious of all, the little girl never directly interacts with Silas. She never speaks to him, has any reaction to the kid she's playing with, and doesn't even acknowledge him. Heck, when Silas asks to kill her, it's in the same room as she's in, and she doesn't hear them, teasing that Geppetto is only thinking this in his mind. And the ending essentially showing the old coot adding her body to his son's puppet shrine hints that the dummy is not truly alive even after he killed her. And in a similar case to Martin Sinescu, from the Twilight Zone's The New Exhibit, he's fantasizing his dead son, encouraging him to kill people in a ludicrous desire to see the hallucinations of Silas again. He just barely conceals his fractured self behind a mask of sanity.
What does an actor want with a conscience anyway?
The animated short does bring this concept into question by having the dummy literally assault a child target itself, but they also leave the door wide open to suggest that Geppetto might be imagining Slappy Silas doing dirty deeds in his place as a coping mechanism. I'm in the crowd who theorizes that Geppetto really is an unhinged madman who lost reality and is killing people believing it'll bring his fam back, akin to Norman Bates. Of course, this is all just a theory, as I can't truly prove everything thanks to the Crypt's mysteries, but I really enjoy this dark fairy tale's fun. Is Silas a real demonic dummy, or is Geppetto merely insane? Only you can make the call. Either way, this tale ends with the implication that the duo are looking to expand the family tree.
Precious, precious.
I'm gonna slap you right in your penis.
Still a better toy man than Tom Hanks. Anywho, that's the end of Crypt's grim fairy tale, Geppetto. And it's easily the best live-action Pinocchio remake. This fable's pretty fantastic. Easily one of the most unnerving, skin-crawling short flicks the web show ever concocted. The studio genuinely crafts a well-built journey into more psychological horror than the slasher side of things. This was a magically creative villain origin. It's super creepy, so unpredictable, well written, has an unwelcoming atmosphere, a twisted look into the mind of a broken soul, a visually stunning killer doll, some eerie dreamlike fairy tale sets, and a rather profound lesson on how the pain of loss can poison your own mind. Despite deep psychological horror, the plot itself is relatively simple to follow, due to this being the origin/intro to a slasher killer who wants his kid. There might be minor issues, such as a child being easily duped into trusting a creepy weirdo, and Crypt TV's usual semantics over the vague unanswered questions as to what's truly happening, but honestly, I do think it helps add more terror to the plot. We never truly know if Silas the dummy is a living cryptid or not, as the narrative's true focus focus is on the actual protagonist, Geppetto. This guy is an ominous yet tragic lost soul who you both pity but also beware being around thanks to his disturbed motive. Much like the Knave in Cheshire, he's a pretty phenomenal dark counterpart of his fairy tale inspiration. Crypt TV successfully reinvents a charming family icon into an R-rated slasher. The Geppetto from the children's tales is usually a kind-hearted old man who just wanted his creation to come to life and be his real boy, growing into a better parent along the way. Whereas the Crypt TV's Geppetto is a broken, depressed, bitter old shut-in who was so broken by a tragedy that he'd do anything to gain his real boy back, even kill. The fact that we don't fully know if Silas truly is alive in his crude replica, or if he's insane deep down, only makes it worse, because his dreams have just turned him into a monster. Whichever theory you stand by, both do show us how Silas changed him for the worse, as his desire to win back his real boy have convinced him he should cross any line. Much like Water's Edge, this is a tragic cautionary fairy tale, warning you how depression can corrupt us into worse people, especially if we allow our hardships to break us on the inside. This is honestly a really great character study, since Geppetto's baggage could fill an entire film on its own, and his nightmares show you that he's got more terror he can construct. I highly recommend watching this, since once again the Crypt gives an amazing new spin on a horror villain who'd fit as a whimsical boogeyman.
He's not the puppet. I'm the puppet.
So, I gift Goth Pinocchio a gold skull and a perfect score. That's right, Cat loved it so much that he's the blue fairy granting it magic. This webisode is awesome. Geppetto may be another old school killer doll story, but it's got no strings to hold it down. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and it's time I exit this stage. Where is it? Where is it? The Nega Flame is gone. It can't be gone. I need it. I left it right here. I don't know how much time I still have. The power cell must be around somewhere.
Looking for something?
Pinky, how do you gain access to that? The Nega Flame canister requires 2 Cat Council member DNA scans.
Oh, don't fret. I had my hall pass. We make a good team, don't we, Big Cat Liar? We sure do, Dr. Pink. You're so pretty and smart. I know. You're not so bad yourself. Really? No, 'cause you're dead. I had dolls with more guts than you, bad fat dyer. Oh, Catalyst, what's with you? You don't look so good.
Sustained heavy damage. My network has been shattered beyond repair. I might disappear at any moment.
Aw, that sucks. Maybe we can fix you up, Hologram. Though you owe us all an apology for being the real Big Cat Liar here.
Sorry. It was never meant to be a wicked deception. I didn't want to lie, but I also didn't know how to explain.
Right. Clearly hiding it was the smarty spin. Look how well we took it.
I'm sorry. I made mistakes.
You sure did.
But I can make it up to you. There's still time to save me. Please, Dr. Pink, allow me to use the Nega Flame. It's the only thing that can heal me. If you grant me the power to save my remains, I'll repay you anything you desire.
Tempting sale. I do care about my friends. But just one tiny prob. I've got boo-boos too. upgrade. Brand spanking new Pinky, which our key to everything can provide. You see, there's 2 of us and only 1 power-up.
What? Please, I
mean, I am the pretty girl here. You wouldn't want me to look like this the rest of my 9 lives, right, buddy? I'm a girl. I have needs. You understand?
I can fix you too, if I'm alive.
Like I trust you to put me under. You're a liar. You're diabetic. You have diabetes. Twice a day you take insulin. You can't be trusted with Meow Life or any of our lives. You might totally betray us the sec you become a Kit Karat Super Saiyan.
I've spent my whole life dedicated to helping you. All of you.
True, but this is ultimate power. It might be too much to handle, especially for a cat pewter who has a memory of limited gigabytes.
I'm still one of you.
Are you? You've lied to us, bossed us around, kept the good toys all to yourself, showed us little respect, and now you want me to give you ultimate power?
It's not like that. I've always been your friend.
Gee, friend, I don't know. I'm in dire need of a facial myself and have been hurt by many of you cats who claim to be my pal, only to break your pinky promises. So you're gonna need to cat-splain your case. Right, meow! So please, Sir Catalyst, you want this jar? Convince me.
Yes, I did store the Nega Flame away, but only because this council has always been at odds with each other. I couldn't just allow us all access to it whenever, leave it out in the open. It's the last of our dead master. Plus, Thundercatter and Big Cat Liar are very unstable minds. Some cats would try to get their paws on it and do something drastic.
Those kittens sure are stupid, not like me.
I used it for our promise to your beloved catastrophe. Had it help find us that wolf, but when we lost him, it had to be set back on ice. Who knows what this council will do with it now?
Including you.
My program has run on for far too long. I've been glitching, lagging, short-circuiting, and required too much of our ship's power to stay online. I will eventually expire by my limits, become obsolete. However, I have a chance. I could become solid, adapt into a true living creature, live on, and resume my life. Have a life better than ever, all thanks to the power of our Nega Flame.
Dun, dun, dun!
I did keep it from you for selfish purposes, but not because I sought betrayal or a power grab. I have zero intention of becoming a Nega Cat, especially when said power killed him. It's my sole chance to become real, no longer be bound by the machines or the limits of technology. I could be a real feline, just like all of you. The Nega Flame can make me solid energy. That's all I've ever wanted. I just want to live. Those other felines wouldn't understand.
Yeah, those dummies ain't smart like I. That doofus grumpy cat, always thinking with his fisticuffs. He was perfect for just smashing you to pieces, but he never saw the blatant security risks challenging a ship AI as I. What a tool!
What?
Oh, and the other cats were so easy to dupe, pointing Katana in the wrong directions, making Big Cat Liar go MIA when he was no longer fun, training Scaredy Cat as a loyal pet by my side, winning Catastrophe's friendship over you, and playing games until the boss couldn't afford it no more.
Wait, it was you. You've been behind all this. You were the one who convinced us to recruit Cat. You've been delaying our search for his brother. You caused these infights. You've been pushing the other council members to act up. You overloaded my program. You sabotaged my systems.
Tampered? I tampered with your systems. If I really wanted to break you, then it would have been me as our server room blood pool over Thunder Crapper. Oh, Catalyst, it was so fun playing with you, but I'm bored. You're so last model.
Please, Pinky, I only want to be alive like you. I just want to be normal, so please, just stop. Don't let me die. Don't kill me.
Oh, Catalyst, how can I kill you? You're not really alive.
Wait, no!
Shutting down! Time this council gain an update.